Have you ever been in a toxic relationship that you have trouble disconnecting from? Have you tried compromising yet the other side refuses to listen to your pleas? Have you ever been abused and then immediately given small increments of rewards that actually amount to nothing? Have you ever had an anniversary so shit that you get into a huge argument and they end up doing the most lackluster apology while spitting at your face? Well, look no further, Genshin Impact players. I have a game for you and you alone. Wuthering Waves is a game made by Kuro Games, another Chinese company that, set in a world infested with tacit discords, beings who are born from the memories and emotions of humans. You play as Rover, a person who has no memories of who he is, where he is, what he is, and why he is. I say he because I chose the male version, but you can choose the female version as well, whichever you prefer. Wuthering Waves, Wuwa, for short, has been released just recently this year, and honestly it's doing pretty well. It's not the Genshin killer everyone tried to make it out to be, just like, well, that other game. But hey, before we proceed, I gotta smack this here. For all intents and purposes, every jab in this video is a joke. Don't take it too seriously because I am not joining any of your fandom wars. Now, this game has its work cut out for it due to the fact that it mainly focuses on the Chinese side of things, more specifically the 4 symbols of Chinese folk religion, and is also heavily inspired by Death Stranding. And despite Wuwa being compared to Genshin a lot of the times, I can safely say that the game has its own direction, personality, and charm to it. Look, I don't know what the hell China's cooked up, but I can confidently say that if our future magistrates are going to be cute anime girls who have been blessed by the literal dragon of the east, then I'm defecting. Glory to the CCP. Now, the story has its moments. I won't spoil too much of it, but honestly speaking, it's okay. It's not as great as Genshin's, as much as I hate to admit it, but I'm gonna give them some leeway, since the starting part is always the roughest in these types of games. One could say the story is withering. Who the hell is Kathy? Surprisingly enough, it's the side stories that shine a lot of the times during my playthrough. Which is funny considering that they're usually not the main focus and are not even voiced to begin with. Like this piano, this fucking piano. It's a broken piano, but it broke me as well. It's even funnier if you think about the fact that the game currently has translation issues. Like, there are some errors here and there that makes me want to question whether their proofreaders are legit or not, or if they even exist at all. Now, I'm no Chinese expert like John Cena is, but Wuwa's dialogue was never really meant for other languages since it clearly has some other meaning behind some words that are being used. But it does get a bit frustrating sometimes when I'm reading the story and then the next sentence gives me a stroke, a headache, and diarrhea all at the same time. It's no problem for some players though, since, well, there's a skip button. Sorry, I did that out of habit. But hey, at least the floating thingy this time around isn't annoying. They did a good job picking the voice actors though, thankfully, and our main character fortunately isn't mute, at least 30% of the time. Both the English and Japanese voiceovers seem to be at a good starting point, and you know, I'm all here for it. The gameplay though. This is the part where I'm looking forward to the most. Look, if there's one thing Wuwa did right, then Genshin, it's its gameplay. Presenting. Infinite stamina while running, wall run, chest detectors, grapple hooks, convenient grapple points, dashing in mid-air, literally farmable artifacts, 240 max energy, fucking Pokemon, incarnation of war itself, I choose you, perfect dodging, perfect parrying, and actually useful MC, and do a flip! I am having fun. Everything that should make the general gameplay feel boring and repetitive is made fresh and convenient. It's not game-breaking, but it's a major improvement. It's great having to run around without worrying about stamina. It's great being able to quickly traverse a wall. In fact, it's fucking great that I don't have to spend energy farming artifacts, or echoes as they're called here. There's also cooking. I don't cook, unfortunately. I mean, there's no reason to. Because healing has a cooldown here. If your ass is getting handed to you by a Sabertooth who can cast magic light spells, then good fucking luck. No, like seriously, good luck. It took me 8 tries. The game can be difficult at times, and yeah, it's a skill issue. No baby hand holding here. If you die, you fucking die. If Genshin has Spiral Abyss, Wuwa has Tower of Adversity, and it's pretty good, has an energy system and all. But compared to Genshin, we got the best game mode of them all, Depths of Elusive Realm. It has a roguelike system that pits you against various enemies that you've encountered along the way, and with the right amount of mix and matching, you too can cast a skill so powerful it can literally evaporate the boss in seconds. Granted, you got lucky. Exploration feels lively as well, being able to see enemies and allies just walking around and fighting, as well as the local wildlife having territorial disputes or, you know, probably just fighting over honey. Is that Shiji? It just makes it much more immersive that it isn't just some huge world with no interactions with it, adding a bit of charm to each area. The game has a certain feel to it, not too happy and not too bright, more dark and grim where death is a common thing when dealing with an ongoing war against the Tacit Discords. But despite all of that, the environments have their own uniqueness to it, some of them being tied to quests with amazing transformations all due to your interference. Dialogue here also diverges into different options, making it intriguing in a sense. But despite all of that, it is still being compared to Genshin, and for good reason. From assets to text font to currency numbers and UI, it is very similar. Now, Genshin doesn't own the font, they don't own the format, they don't own the currency numbers and the system in place, but there's just this bit that comes with it that it's hard to call it inspired. People will talk about these things and some might even get pissed off about it, like, oh my god, it's a ripoff, oh my god, it's plagiarism, they copied Genshin. But in my honest opinion, that's not really important. What matters is, are you having fun? Because to me, those similar looking assets come second, and what I solely focus on is whether or not I'm enjoying the game. And I am, and it's good. The game does not care, and neither should we. Wuthering Waves has done a lot of things right when it comes to gameplay. The story is, it leaves a lot to be desired, but this game is definitely worth a try. It has a few hiccups here and there, but those are mistakes that can be fixed, and it ultimately depends on whether or not the game suits to your taste and makes the time that you spent on it worth it. Overall, my consensus is, it's just better Genshin. Oh, right, I forgot to mention this game is the gacha game. The unknown is calling, so I cross the line.